Welcome to TMZ Live. Really sad, tragic news. Hayden Panettiere, you may have heard this already, 36 years old, died yesterday. And it appears that this may well have been a drug overdose.
Yeah, that there was certainly some drug use going on in the Greenville, South Carolina apartment where she was found. The call to 911, it was initially for a woman suffering with cardiac arrest, but once officials got there...
And even on the dispatch call, they said it may have been an overdose.
Yes, first responders said that may have been an overdose, that they'd started CPR efforts, but they were not able to revive her. But there's something interesting about the response to this, though, because there were 2 ambulances sent there.
2 ambulances and ultimately a coroner's van. Now, the 2 ambulances are interesting because they wheeled stretchers in from each ambulance, but when they came out, there was nobody on that either of those stretchers. The ambulances left, the coroner's van came, but because there were 2 ambulances, it would seem that there were 2 people in distress.
Right. And as for who that second person is, we don't know at this point, but we do know that that Hayden had traveled to South Carolina with her on-again, off-again boyfriend, Brian Hickerson,
on
Saturday. So
they had just gotten to South Carolina, and somebody walked in. It may well have been Brian's brother, walked in and then saw the scene, and somebody called 911.
And our understanding is that Brian and his brother were both staying at this apartment, which would make sense as to why Hayden was there, knowing that she had arrived in South Carolina just the day before. Another really interesting thing that we've learned is Narcan was on the scene, which is used to reverse the effects of a potential opioid overdose. Now, exactly who that might have been used on, it's kind of unclear, but we do know that obviously when paramedics arrived at the scene, they were doing everything they could to
resuscitate
her, which of course was unsuccessul.
So we don't know who the second person is. I mean, you can kind of connect the dots. We've been trying to reach Brian, have been unable to. Police are saying there's no evidence of foul play.
There was no trauma, signs of trauma on her body. So it doesn't seem like something in that regard happened. But of course, we're trying to get to the bottom of it. And Hayden had been really open about a lot of her struggles over the years, talking in her book, which came out this year, her memoir, talking about how she did have an addiction and an unhealthy relationship with opioids. She complained about back pain somewhat recently. We had some photos of her where she was using oh my gosh, what are those called?
Crutches.
Using crutches because of her back. And when I spoke to Brian just about 3 months ago in regards to her memoir and her reflecting very negatively on their relationship, I mean, which is understandable because their relationship was extremely toxic.
Abuse, and he went to jail.
He was arrested for domestic violence, and he kind of spoke on where their relationship stood at that time, which again was just 3 months ago. And he said,
I think we have a clip of this.
There you
go. Hayden Panettiere is the sweetest thing in the world. It's not about who you spend Saturday night with. It's who you spend all day Sunday with. And Hayden Panettiere is a Sunday girl.
Do you think it's better for her to not be with you?
I think that Hayden is one of the most talented people I've ever met in my life, and I would be an idiot not to walk away from her and let her flourish in her career. So we probably wouldn't be good together.
And the fact that he said that, but they look,
and yet they were together.
They were together, and he said she's a Sunday girl. She died on Sunday.
Right.
So look, she has had real struggles with substance abuse. She's been to rehab, and she had a child with Vladimir Klitschko, the boxer. and he is now in Ukraine, which is his home country. And they had a pretty bitter custody fight, and she ended up walking away and giving up the child because
she said in the book that she felt like that was the best decision for the child's life.
But she also spoke negatively in the book, saying that she felt like she was really cornered by Vlad because when she went to Ukraine, she claimed that he put her in a situation where he had a bunch of people around him and almost in a way scared her into signing the rights away for Kaya, who is now 11 years old.
On the other side of it is she had a chaotic life.
Yeah.
And she had a chaotic life with her parents. I think her parents had their own issues.
Leslie, her mother, spoke recently saying they had no relationship currently.
The thing you have to remember about Hayden, she's been acting since before she could walk.
Right.
Yeah.
So she is, when you talk about celebrities who
It's surprising
grow up
that
child
she's 30,
stars.
It's surprising she was only 36.
Right, and you talk about child stars and all the troubles that they go through and the struggles. I mean, she's...
It's weird timing too, because she was just doing this entire book tour for her memoir, and recently was like, I have so much more life to live, talking about, you know, all the opportunities she's excited to get back into.
I finally feel like I have shaken off all of this darkness and this negativity, and that means that I've closed one door and another door is opened, and I can feel it open, and I can feel all the possibility, all the possibilities, all the exciting possibilities. I feel like I have a lot more life to live.
Listen, if it's true, and I mean, it's kind of pointing to addiction.
There was some,
the fact that there was
drug
Narcan
use
there,
going
that
on
there was a phone call about a drug overdose.
It doesn't seem on purpose.
And there was apparently a second person involved in this, at least you would think, that it's got the markers of it, and it's one of those things. She struggled hard, and she struggled in rehab. She struggled afterward, and it's one of those things that is just can grip you and pull you back down. And
even when, earlier this year, when she was doing the tour for the book, and you hear her talking about she turned a corner and she felt like she had a lot more life to live. That's all. It just seems like, and we've just unfortunately seen this.
Well, you know
where
we saw it? You know where we saw this? The exact same thing with the book saying that we feel like
better.
It's Matthew Perry.
Yeah.
It was
her
his
birthday
book.
was this week as well.
Supposed to
Right, she would have been 37 this week.
Our chat is really curious. They want to know, even though police are saying no foul play was detected, since the boyfriend has had previous arrests, do you know, are they looking into him as a potential?
I mean, they've said, by the way, her autopsy has been completed already, and at this point, they don't have a cause of death, but they've said they did not see any signs of trauma
or foul
that
play
would make them think there was foul play.
And they specifically said no sign of foul play. So, no.
That rules that out.
Hey, it's Cookie checking in again from Dallas. As far as the foul play comment, being attached to anybody that triggers certain emotions with you, that's foul in and of itself. I watched the interview he did with you guys. He didn't seem all there. And this feels like a very lather, rinse, repeat situation with our child stars. The minute you start getting vulnerable about your addiction, your loss, tragedies, you can see on the Jay Shetty podcast, she's very emotional. That's the time you need the most support, the right support. And her being around him, whether he did anything wrong or not, simply was not it for her. This is a huge tragedy. It's a loss for us millennials, but I hate this. But I'm so glad she got her story out. But somebody absolutely needs to have a conversation with that man.
Yeah, and look, we don't know what happened, with that relationship. And yeah,
was it a toxic relationship? Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, what you say is possible, but that doesn't mean that the cure to all of this would have been to stay away from Brian, because Hayden independently had a real fight during her entire adult life with substance abuse. So whether Brian was in her life or not, it may have exacerbated it. We don't know. But it's not like that would have been sort of the magic bullet.
Yeah.